Hi there, everybody. Welcome to Kickoff Labs live marketing chats. My name is Izzy Palmerin. I work here in marketing at kickofflabs.com. Today, we're going to be doing live landing page reviews. So, this is a bi-weekly event where we get our customers' pages. Both customers and non-customers submit their landing pages for a free landing page review. So we provide some tips and critiques as far as how you can increase your conversion rate and improve the overall performance of your campaign and your landing page. And it looks like we have a few people already online. I am currently sharing my screen, so let me go ahead and tell people that we are now live. Please press play. And let me go and update my status message. Here we go. Okay, so just as a favor, everybody in the chat, well, actually, if somebody in the chat could just put a simple yes, that will let us know that you can both hear and see the actual video. Right now, I'm actually just sharing the live landing page reviews page itself. But if you can, okay, so we can see it. Awesome. Looks good. Yes, alrighty. So I'm getting a few yeses, so it looks like everything is working correctly. And joining us today, actually, because we already have somebody in the chat, UCF Full, asking who's joining us today. We have our amazing co-founder, Josh Ledgard, who's going to be providing plenty of feedback on your pages as well. As I mentioned, I am Izzy Palmerin. I work here in marketing. I'm a marketing specialist here at Kickoff Labs. And unfortunately, our conversion rate designer, Laura Lee, she's not going to join us. She has some kid stuff that she has to attend to. So unfortunately not. So without further ado, we can start jumping into page reviews because I'm seeing that there's more and more people jumping into the chat. Basically, I was just making some time just to give people enough time to jump in and sign into the actual chat. And I do recommend that if you submitted a page, to please leave the full URL within the actual chat itself. That will make it easier for us to go ahead and jump into your page review. Looks like I believe who already submitted a chat. So we have Lucas who already submitted a page. I'm sorry. We have New Frontier CIO and Lee Atwood already submitted a page too. So make sure that you submit your URL for your page review, and let's go ahead and start jumping into today's. Okay. So I guess before I do, Josh, do you want to say a quick hi to our audience?
Hey everyone, looking forward to checking out the pages today. And Brian posted, are we limited to only doing this once? I don't want to waste my site review before my site is even done. That's kind of your call, Brian. We do tend to prioritize pages we haven't seen before, but if there's time and we come back around and we see a page again and you're attending the chat, then we'll typically look at pages again a second time if you come to the chat. It's always nice to see the evolution of pages too.
Exactly. Like we might not go as in depth, but yeah, we're glad to take a second look at anybody's page. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into the first one, which I did mention is Coachington, I think submitted to us by Lucas. So looking at Coachington, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Is it Coachington or Coachington? Live healthier, live happier. Okay, that's I guess let's get into the actual critique part of it. This seems like it's like extremely general. Okay, so I opened up an exit intent because I was going to grab my my marking tool here, but let's see if the exit intent itself matches up with the copy that's on the landing page itself. So it's saying, are you being basic right now? Because right now, behind the actual exit intent, the only thing that I had a chance to read was live healthier, live better, something like that, Coachington. So the exit intent says, are you being basic right now? I really don't know what it means by basic right now. Be elite. Okay, look below. I think that a lot of people, would like to increase their, not necessarily their elitism, but their, maybe their earning power or I really don't know what you're doing, but I guess most people want to improve something about themselves. So I guess you're on a good path, but you're not being specific enough yet. Let's see if we can grab what you guys are specifically doing. Did you know that you could transform your life by inputting your email address below? That's not true. Like inputting my email address is not necessarily going to transform my life. You guys are, like, your company is, whatever your service is providing, that's what's going to help transform my life according to you, which is fine. But you have to be a lot more specific. Like, what are you guys offering? At this point, I don't know what it is, and if I input my email address, I don't know what the step inside really means. Like this, there's an awful lot of disconnect between, like, are you being basic right now, be elite, and then like transforming your life, and then step inside. So it's a little confusing, but let's go ahead and look at the landing page copy. This hopefully should clear things up for us. And any feedback that I do provide on this landing page, it's probably to recommend that you also make those changes on your exit intent as well. So we have another chance to look at the Coachington Live Healthier, Live Happier. Here we go. It's awful vague. So let's take another look. Never be basic, be elite. Discover the most elite mastermind training yet guaranteed. Alrighty, so there we go. Roughly, it's like, okay, mastermind training. I have heard of mastermind training, but it's awful like markety as well. So
I still don't know what it's training for. Like I don't
right, exactly.
I don't know if you're training me to eat healthier, to work out, to be a better manager, to grow a business. I don't quite get what it's training me for. That's my biggest problem with it, Izzy.
Yeah, and I guess like the background images itself kind of throw me off too, because I see that there's some books that say, like, they say devoted to love, and then they say ultra ego, and then it looks like some kind of like sports intensity training or something. There's an awful lot going on here. So you really have to be super specific as to who this page is for. Yes, you can drive a whole ton of traffic and hope that a certain percentage converts and gets this, but what's going to drive you a lot better results is if you segment down. So if you, let's say you are offering these different products, so one of them is focused on intensity training, the other one is focused on ultra ego, the other one is focused on devoted to love. Well, then make specific landing pages for those. Okay, under Kickoff Labs, just as an example, because you are using Kickoff Labs, under Kickoff Labs, I would create different campaigns for each of those, so you can create different experiences, targeted highly towards one. Honestly, I would focus on one, execute the heck out of it, and make sure that one succeeds. But it really depends what your business is actually doing. But you really have to focus it down. Just niche it down. This is like, okay, let me read a little bit more of the copy itself. With independent contractors, this makes no sense. Like, you should tell them, like, we work with the best trainers. Like, if you're talking about the turbo intensity training, we work with the best intensity trainers, and then maybe show an image of them, like some buffed up dude or some really fit woman, something like that. You have to be really specific. So let's Coachington as the training that perfectly matches your desire to reach greatness. It looks like you're using some decent copy, but like the reach your greatness, but as I mentioned, you really need to like focus down, niche it down, make sure that you're really only driving a certain like target demographic to this page, where they know immediately that it's for them, and you'll get a lot better results. Right now, it's like, okay, let's see what the incentive to sign up, especially like around the sign up box, where this is extremely important. People need to understand what they're signing up for around this section. I mean, the really important sections are the headline and the sub headline, and obviously your call to action. But we just don't know what it is. I mean, let me sign up and see if I get a little bit more idea out of it. And I'm sorry if I'm being a little too harsh.
Before you sign up, Izzy, is a couple more things I wanted to mention on this page, since you've got it up, and you can just keep your screen sharing there. But the but that next section about the About Coaching movement, just a piece of design feedback was, it looks like they dropped that snippet on with our new drag and drop designer, and they set a background image for the snippet, and there's that background image just sort of makes it look really complex and removes a lot of white space. And so I would kill that background image so the text is more readable and the video stands out. I would also increase the padding. You can increase the padding between the snippets, between the sign up box and that video, just to make the page feel a little bit more comfortable. You can kind of see between the key image and the text, there's a decent amount of padding on that, in that space there. and it feels very readable and approachable. But the next section is like this button, and then right next to it is this black box for the video. And I feel like it's crowding like the call to action, and you don't want to crowd the call to action on the page. Like, it should really stand out. So remove that background image on the snippet and add some padding there. And then you know, the About the Coachington movement, I still think has all the same issues that Izzy's been talking about, which is that it's not really specific about what sort of coaching and what kind of person that you're after that would be your customer. Now, Izzy, you can go ahead and sign up and go on to the next stage.
Great, thanks for that feedback. And just in case you don't know how to add that padding, I'm not going to jump into the actual designer itself, but if you, let's say this was the actual designer, you would scroll around towards this section at the bottom, and you would see the design. Click that design button, and you'll see those padding options right there. So it's really easy to add. Let's go ahead and step inside and see what happens. Cool. So it's thank you for signing up, invite friends, and earn product. Still, I believe this is our default text. It's not specific enough. People need to know exactly what they're signing up for. So whatever changes you do make to your landing page, be sure that there's that consistency and that continuation going from landing page to thank you page all the way through your welcome emails and any type of referral emails.
The fonts are different on this page too. I mean, it looks like you had some fun choosing different fonts, but it just doesn't feel as consistent because there's 3 different fonts on this page that you didn't see on the previous page. And then the background image is the same, which is nice, except then you've got the other problem of the background image in the bottom section again, which I would get rid of.
Yep. Okay. Good advice, Josh. I want to go ahead and move on to the next page. I believe we have signup.blusstor.co. Josh, I believe you are muted. One sec, guys.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you, but we can't see your screen. There we go.
You should be able to see both now. All right, so I was browsing around opening other pages, so I got the exit intent window up here. So it says, don't miss your chance. Sign up now and be the first kid on the block to ditch your passwords and earn free product by referring friends. But this is really specific. Be the first kid on your block to ditch your passwords, which kind of hints at a product. I'm not sure what it is, but then it says earn free product. Is it a free product, a free membership? Because you're cloud-based, like I'm not quite sure what the offer is or what the incentive is. So you might want to clarify that incentive a bit. But let's look at the page and see what comes up on the page. So you've got this picture of the frustrated person here, which I like in the background. So I like that in the background. A nice clean logo, which is good. This card with the text feels a little much, like it just feels like a little large on the page. And it also pushes, because it's so big, it pushes the call to action down further down here on the page. And so I would consider maybe putting this image down below the area here. So I might put that image down below here to balance the page out more, because you've got a nice image. Then you could have a tagline, ready to ditch your passwords. I would remove the exclamation points, just go with the question mark. And it says, enter to win Cybergate Personal Mobile Cloud by entering your email today. This is what the exit intent should say, basically, is you're basically saying you're going to give them Personal Mobile Cloud by entering today. It seems to be password oriented, so I wish there was just a little bit more information about, and like if this said enter to win a Cybergate Personal Mobile Cloud today and never have to remember another password, like just get really specific and just beat people over the head with what this is. I do like that your call to action is tied to the brand, so it's ditch my passwords, and so that's good. And then you've got a video, which we're not going to watch here. Let's just make sure it comes up there. Yep, and so you've got a nice video talking about passwords, I'm sure. Yep. So that all seems to work great, but I mean, like you've used the brand up here in the copy, I might also then use the brand in the watch our video, like see how our password solution works or see how our unique solution solves your problem. And then that way it gets more specific to what your space is. So let's go ahead and sign up now here. I also might consider like the call to action. is this blue. We've got this blue. We've got this blue fade and this blue button. I might make this stand out more. Find another brand color. Make this like an orange or just something that stands out a little bit more on the button. But let's go ahead and sign up. All right. So a couple of things I always tell people: this background image here. This image should probably be that same frustrated person that you saw on the first page. It just keeps things consistent. This is purely our default text in here. So I would again get specific, right? It said, your passwords and personal security by entering email today. How about you're now entered to win, personal security, invite friends and earn free, earn our software for free, or something like this, a little bit more specific. That's not just invite friends and earn product, or it should say like get Bluster for free by inviting friends, right? Just be really specific, because that's what you're doing. It looks like you're saying like receive Cybergate software, you and a lucky friend get the software, and then you get the software plus 2 gigabytes of data. And so I would be really specific about what it is in this intro that gets people to share. And make this heading a little bit bigger. You have some more room for text in here. So there's a little bit more room. So this could go down to here. It would feel a little bit less crowded on the page. And you'd also have space to see that background image of the woman that was there before in her frustrated face there. Or maybe the thank you page is the same kind of blue background, but it has a woman who looks happy, like she signed up, now she's happy. Just a little bit of positive reinforcement maybe. But the point is, like, think about the theme and keeping the branding, the text, the copy, the images, the fonts consistent from one page to the next in your campaign. So that's all the feedback I've got for this. But again, like, just to say it again, like, be really sort of share your link, earn points. You're not asking them to earn points. You're asking them to share your link, earn the product, right? Because that's what this says. Share your link below, earn Cybergate products with each friend who sign up, right? And so this isn't points. So why would you talk about points? I would change this to friends, and then because this says friends here, and so keep it at the friends thing, not the points copy there. Izzy, do you have any other feedback on the campaign?
No, actually, it was pretty thorough. I mean, maybe I guess I really like their image, and actually, like, they should really use the fact that the image is looking towards the center. So if they did raise their call to action higher up, it would be a lot like she would be looking almost at the call to action. People would.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like, if you move that image and you swap that image of the card down below the form is going to be almost exactly what she's looking at, and so it's going to direct people's attention. So it's a really good point.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead and move on to Gothambox. And I have seen a few more people jumping into the chat, so I just want to remind everybody, just in case you did submit your page, go ahead and leave the URL in the chat box. That way we do get to your review, and you get your review guaranteed. So we're looking at Gothambox. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that I might have looked at this one before, maybe offline, but once again, the exit intent popped up because I was mousing around towards the top. Let's first look at the exit intent itself. So it says last chance to win. Sign up now for more information, and you can win $200 to spend at Gothambox this Christmas. That's a pretty good exit intent. I guess what the only thing that I feel is missing from this is maybe just providing just a little bit more information, even if it was really, really brief, maybe even down here where it says, we promise to never spam you. This is really valuable real estate. Just providing a bit more information as to what Gothambox is. Like, Gothambox is a subscription service sending you monthly, boutique items. Like, I can roughly see that it says like online boutique, but be more specific. Tell people exactly what they're getting. Yes, they want that $200 to spend at Christmas, but they also want to know a little bit more about what you guys are doing, because that's what exit intents are. It's like your second opportunity to present your initial offering. So just in case people didn't see what it was, this is your second chance to actually show them. So That's important. And just a small little thing. I might even change like this Christmas to holidays, because you know how things have gotten very, very generalized. So a lot of people don't use Christmas anymore for some reason. I don't know why, but I personally like it. But however you guys want to keep it, that's just my.
That sounds like an awesome thing to A/B test.
Exactly. Yeah. A/B test holidays with Christmas and let us know. We want to see those rules and we want to show them. Gotham Box. This actually looks really nice. I really like the actual look of the page. It looks clean. I feel as if that the logo is just a tad too big. Like, yes, you want to call out Gotham Box and the actual logo, and the fact that there's a skyscraper within the O and everything looks really cool, but it's just pushing down the Shop NYC just a little bit too much. Like this other section, a little bit too much in my eyes. Like if it was just a little bit smaller, I would have a better idea that there's more content on the page, another paragraph for me to read, and just more information for your visitors to actually check out if this is a good product for them or not. So let's go ahead and focus first on the top, because I have plenty of feedback on the rest of that. But Gotham Box, a new online boutique offering unique gift boxes and products made in NYC, is coming Christmas 2016. Alrighty, this seems like an awful lot of copy just for a headline or for a sub headline. I would most definitely cut this down, compress this. People don't care when your product is launching. For the most part, like, yes, you can use.
Plus, the second line really says it, right? Sign up now and updates. You could wait 200 to spend on holiday gifts. So the second line already implies when you're launching, because you're going to have stuff ready for the holidays.
Exactly. I mean, people don't care about like when your company is actually launching. Josh already explained it. When people read this, that's their incentive, and that's like, okay, well, I need to sign up because I want to get my $200 by the holidays. So you really have to focus on what the main incentive is and informing them. Cut this down, and be more specific. Like, what kind of unique gifts, gift boxes and products, like, and I don't know, like I feel that the copy is like awfully plain. Like saying online boutique offering unique gifts and all that, it just feels a little bit like not as quirky as it could be. I believe that it could probably have a little bit more personality. Put in some like New York City personality. I mean, you know how people have those like lingos and how people and how people talk, how people write. You should kind of use those same kind of words within your actual copy, because that way you're actually kind of like segmenting and you're telling people, okay, if this is for you, sign up now. If you talk like this, or if you look like this, or if you use words like this is for you. If not, walk away. And that's good, because essentially what you're doing, you're actually creating warm leads before they even sign up. So once they sign up, they're already primed for a sale. So let's go ahead and look at the rest of the page. So yeah, that's most definitely what I would do. Make this a little bit more quirky. Just add some more personality to the copy itself. And this is pretty good. Yeah, sign up for updates and you could win $200. And I would tie the call to action a little bit more to the actual, like to the contest aspect, like enter to win, or like, or just something a little bit more tied to the prize itself, to the win $200. The headlines, I feel that the headlines aren't descriptive enough. Like Shop NYC, that there's a lot of products that are available in New York City. Be way more specific. And the actual paragraph sections, these are just way too busy. And like you even say it in the section, like busy. So so this paragraph needs to be cut down. Your headlines needs to be a little bit more descriptive. It's okay if it's like a 2-line paragraph. I mean, 80% of people read only the headlines. And if they like what the headline says, they will read the additional text, like the actual paragraph itself. Be sure that the headlines are enticing enough that people will want to read this, all this additional information. And if it's information about like our team is busy and we are excited to be working with, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, people don't really care about that. People will care about what's in it for them. Yes, they want to know what kind of products you guys are going to be carrying. So mention that. That's good, but don't mention things about your brand and about your business yet. Yes, you can kind of like sprinkle those in a little by little, but But if your first section is like, our team is busy, we're excited, people are going to walk away, unfortunately. So make it all about them. And it looks like the top of the page is like really focus on that, treating it like a contest. So treat the rest of the page like a contest. Like, yes, you could, this is what you could win. This is the Gotham box. Enter to the win this, and it's a monthly box, and blah blah blah. Because the other contest section isn't until the third one, so it's awfully pushed down. So yeah, so treat this all like a contest, like the entire thing. Josh, any additional feedback before I go ahead and sign up here? Probably not.
No, I don't have anything else.
Let's go and sign up. Okay, so that same logo, I think it looks a little bit smaller here, so it's probably working a little bit better here. Thank you for signing up. Check your email to verify your entry. Good strategy, especially for high-value contests. I mean, you guys are giving away $200 worth of products, seems as if you do want to make sure that people are not signing up with fake email addresses. So good strategy, like telling them, thank you, now check your email to verify. So straightforward. I might even put like a little asterisk here or something like that, or just letting people know if you didn't see it, check your spam folder. Because especially if you're a new company with a brand new domain name and you're just like, and you're barely starting to send email addresses as a new company, you're not going to have the same kind of sender reputation, I guess, under Gmail's eyes and under all these like Yahoo email service providers' eyes. So just be sure that you tell people, all right, check your spam just in case. Whoa, okay, so this looks really good, but I feel that this other bottom section, like this referral section, is awfully busy. There's a lot of text to actually read. Simplify it. Simplify it with like images. Just put like a little image and then put like a plus sign or something like that, a little image. And you don't have to put the actual retail value price. People are smart enough, they could Google it online. They could figure out how much something is actually worth. But yeah, looks pretty good. That's pretty much the only changes that I would make. Let's quickly test the Facebook sign up, because I know that actually the Facebook share, we probably haven't done that too much. All right, so what's going on here is probably looks as if that I'm either the first person to actually be sharing this, or your Facebook, or your Facebook share hasn't been debugged yet. So there's a couple ways that you can actually do that. I'll go ahead and share a good article that we have in the chat right after my review, and once Josh is doing his review. But yeah, looks good, and yeah, it should be performing pretty good. Josh, you want to go ahead and move on to the next page, or additional feedback on this one?
I didn't have any additional feedback on that one. I'll move on to the next page. So the next page I got up here was Complex Beauty. So the first thing people might notice is I do think it's important. You're paying for Kickoff Labs membership. You can use your own domain. So I would really consider not using the Kickoff Pages domain and just use your own domain. It just adds an element of trust to a website. And you're paying for the right to. So go ahead and use your own domain with something like this. Design-wise, this image with the background, to me, makes the white text, this text, and this text really hard to read. And so it's one of those things where this background should be a little bit darker. And it's hard because you've tried to mix this dark text with the white text, and this dark text, and you've got actually 3 different colors going on. And so maybe think about simplifying it, like whatever color this logo is up here, make the text the same color. So copy this logo color here, here, here. So it's just going to look a lot simpler. Maybe have one bit that's an accent on the colors. So that's a little bit on the design here of the page. I would also consider cutting, as we've talked about this before, so I'm cutting this launching in November. As soon as you see something like that on the page, it just sort of says, there's nothing to see here. I do like your really simple logo, so Complex Beauty, or tagline, like your new skincare bestie, right? And you've got these pictures here, clearly like some sort of skincare product. This text is what's hard to read here, so it's kind of hard to understand this. So enter our giveaway for your chance to sample our face masks before they launch. maybe consider swapping it. So it's not the call to action first. So sample our face masks by entering our giveaway. So consider leading with the value proposition, right, of what you're doing, and then the how. Like if you think about it psychologically, like get people hooked on what they want, which is like, boy, a sample face mask, and then how do I get it? Oh, you get it by entering our giveaway for a chance. And so I would consider going after it that way. I do like that the button here has a nice branded call to action, join our skin squad. There's nothing worse than just something saying submit or join now, something generic. However, this gray button, the color of this button, boy, I really wish it was like red or bright pink or just something that stood out a little more, because this doesn't stand out to me right now, the join our skin squad. Another thing I would think about is you've got text over here. You've got text over here on this side, and there's text in the image. And so I would really to reload this. Something's wrong with my drawing tool. Let me reload this page. You've got text over here on the side, and there's also text in the image. I would just keep it simpler and not have text in the image. This just really crowds, like this text here, high performance skincare for low maintenance girls, really crowds this text. And I sort of wish, I mean, it's a great headline. I see why you have it. If you were gonna keep it, I would mirror the image so that this text here was on the other side of the hair. And then that way it was more balanced on a page. And then also, same as I said before, if you could add more padding space here. So this is a little bit of a tight squeeze, and you can add more padding between the form and this section of the site. So then let's see, and then you've got a countdown timer. So I do like you pulled the countdown timer. So any page with a drag and drop designer can have one of these countdown timers. It's a great incentive, like how much time left to win your free samples. And you know, I almost wish you moved this closer to the call to action. So if this counter was up here underneath this, and then your bit more about your company was then below that, then you'll be mixing it a little bit better. So just think about just reordering a little bit better so the things that are important show up higher on the list. And so let's sign up and see what happens. All right.
Josh, so quick question. Can you reorder things on the drag and drop designer?
Absolutely. So you could just drag it from one spot to the other, the new designer. So it's really easy to do. So you could just take that piece, and there's a move flag on it, and just drag from the move button, drag it on up to a higher part of the page. Okay, so here we go again. Like the first page had that pink background. I actually really like this simple grayish background better without the pink on it. And I think it works better. I can actually, even if you use two colors, like the light, the dark, and the white, I can actually read this copy, which is what's most important. Like if nothing else, you need to make sure people can read your landing page, because if they can't read it, then it doesn't really matter what you say on the page. This is one of the best call to action on the share pages we've seen today. So it says really quick, like earn free samples of our face masks. And then it says, well, then that's great. It says like, how do I earn free samples? Like invite friends and earn up to 3 free samples. Even better, I can get 3 of them. Like it's just, it really leads into the call to action of getting people to use these social sharing buttons and telling people like, oh, VIP exclusive launch, 5 gets you 1, 2, so that you get 2 face masks, like 25 gets you 3. And I think that's really important, the way it leads from one to the other. And it's a really simple giveaway too, so it's really easy to understand. It's 1, 2, or 3 face masks, and you actually say earn up to 3 free samples. And so I really like this page. I don't have much I would change about this thank you page. I would take some of the lessons from this thank you page with the spacing and the background image, how that's set up, and the colors, and apply that to the sign up page that you had that you had there. I don't have anything else. Izzy, do you have anything about this campaign?
No, actually, I think it looks pretty good as well. I mean, maybe the prize level text kind of distracts me for some reason. I don't know why. Like the actual rewards where it says like prize level.
Oh yeah, it's kind of repetitive, right? You don't.
It
I
is,
don't, I
yeah.
don't think you really need like this, this here. And so I think it could be even simpler. That's really good feedback too. All right, Izzy, on to you.
Let's go ahead and move on. Okay, so we do have a couple other more pages that we're going to be reviewing, but I do see more people jumping into the chat. Just in case you want your review, please submit your page. So we're going to be looking at Commentify, I believe. So it's Matt's page. So Commentify beta, it's at commentify.io. Your fully customizable comment component in 30 seconds. Alrighty, that's simple, straightforward. I actually like the actual headline itself. Something that I guess something that slightly throws me off is like comment component in 30 seconds. Those type of words are really hard to use. Like we've struggled with like widgets, plugins, component, all those things. So it's really hard to like kind of narrow it down as to what what kind of copy you should be using. The best advice is use what the majority of people say. So I rarely see component. So if it's like a website plugin, call it that. If it's a website widget, call it that. So that's pretty much my only feedback for your headline. And the next thing we're looking at is a triple call to action, which is it's not your standard call to action. Most of the time, we'll only see one, maybe a dual call to action, but these are all actually like almost asking for the same type of attention. I don't know if you noticed that the Y doesn't have like that same type of like active state, but the sign up and the login they do. I don't know, like I guess it's an innovative way to actually place the sign up and login, which might normally be up here, like in what we would consider a navigation bar. But it just looks a little bit off. Like the fact that the Y is not highlighted, and and they all have that same look, like the ghost button look. It for some reason it just looks weird. Obviously, A/B test this. I mean, any kind of advice that we are providing, don't take it as as face value. Like, all right, well, I got to make those changes because Kickoff Labs marketing guys said so. You should obviously A/B test any kind of changes, and if you're getting way better results, hey, I mean, let us know. We would like to see. However, the advice that we are providing has been tested by thousands of websites, by tons of people doing conversion rate optimization, by real companies making real money. So that's what really matters. At the end of the day, if your business isn't making money, then what's the point? But let's go ahead and I guess I kind of want to click on one of these. Let's see what happens. Alrighty, so it takes me to a sign up page, which is it's a tactic, but I guess
There's nothing on that sign up page that even reminds you that you were signing up for Commentify.
Yeah, exactly. Like
it's great.
actually, right.
Imagine, like, think about like you got here and you didn't know what you were signing up for. Like, just remind people the whole way, like what they're signing up for. Like, create a Commentify account, register for Commentify, like have your logo on this page. Just it is itself a landing page, then and the copy on this page must be considered as well.
Exactly. Very true. Very true. I mean, this seems more like I guess like it's an onboarding issue where the fact that you would need to learn a little bit more about how to onboard your actual users. We're not going to talk about like onboarding itself. I'll provide like a really good link right after I finish this review itself. But the sign up, I mean, if it's not treated like a landing page, this is kind of like create your account, and this would take me through the actual onboarding process, showing me the application and maybe grabbing my credit card information. Really depends. But if people get to this page and they have no idea what Commentify is, that it's that I'm signing up for a free account, you have to be really, really specific. So there's a lot of things that need to be added to the page I mean, you could probably launch this as a minimum viable product, but what's the point? Like, what's the point of actually building a full blown product without having some kind of audience that's kind of like excited about it, that's ready to start using it, and that's interested in what you're doing. So I mean, let's look a little bit more at the page. I mean, I'm going to try to treat it like a landing page. See if there's any kind of like really strong call to action asking me to sign up for some kind of email newsletter. anything, just something that's actually asking me, okay, so you need to sign up for this. Um, I guess it's providing like a little bit of information right here. It's saying like try it out, the actual box itself. But I believe that this can, that your headline can be a lot more descriptive here too. You could tell people this is how the actual chat box, this is how Commentify chat box or comment component, whatever you want to call it, is going to look on your website. And how, and what kind of websites can I install it on? Can I install it on a WordPress website? Can I install it on a static website? You have to be a lot more specific. I guess it looks like a working version. I could jump into it. Oh, I can't really actually like. Okay, like it actually looks clickable. I can start editing it, but yeah, I mean, just try to onboard people, and during the actual onboarding process, be sure that you are doing some kind of email collection. Let's see if I sign up for any upcoming news. Here we go. So this looks like it's the Kickoff Labs box itself, but really, I don't know. Like I feel as if you haven't launched yet, if Commentify isn't live and isn't like installed on a whole bunch of sites just yet, then you really should be focusing on the email collection, on building up that list, and on making sure that that you're educating and informing people as to what Commentify is going to be about. Let's see what it says here. Sign up for any upcoming news. People, yes, people want to be informed, but you have to be really like a lot more specific. What's the benefit of signing up for your email newsletter? What are people going to get out of it? If there's any news regarding Commentify, we will let you know first. That's just it. I mean, if you're just doing a simple email collection, I guess that you like, if you just want to inform people about it, I might even recommend like downgrading to a simpler software, because Kickoff Labs is really meant to take advantage of like the social referral aspect, making people invite more friends, especially for like a live application. We've seen a lot of people running campaigns where it's like an ambassador type of campaign, where you're letting people know, okay, well, start becoming, become an ambassador for Commentify, for example, and invite your friends and start earning rewards. That's how you start building your list, start building some traction. Let me go and show you guys a really good example. I'll go to our Kickoff Labs /showcase. You can actually check out this page if you guys want to. These are our case studies, and there's a really good case study. If you scroll down to the second section that says Vebler drives 18,000 leads. Come on, who wouldn't want to have 18,000 additional leads as part of their business? So what they're doing, they're actually running an ambassador program where they are inviting people to top their actual leaderboard, and they can actually earn rewards. So basically, you see that they're using like a landing page, and this was actually like an ongoing campaign. Even though their product had already launched, they still had this like ongoing landing page where they were still treating it like a launch. So people that were getting to that part of the funnel felt as if it was like a launch. So in a sense, it's what you could call an evergreen launch, where you have a sign up page, always published to like maybe prelaunch.commentify.com or something like that, and you have your live application at commentify.com. But obviously, you're driving people that you want to sign up, that you want to get their email address to the pre-launch page. So that's a great strategy. Take a look at the Vebler one, and another customer that was doing that is the Saha guys. So take a look at the PP Go one, and I forgot exactly how many. Well, they got 20,000 leads, and they did it the exact same way, where they had an existing product, and they actually had like a side-by-side evergreen launch, and that's really going to help boost the amount of leads that you're actually collecting. So that's just my feedback for you. I mean, you should really, I mean, share the hell out of this link. You should really take advantage and get all the juice you can out of Kickoff Labs, and that's really my recommendation. If you want a little bit more information, go ahead and email us. I'll go ahead and make sure that I provide my email. Oh, sorry about that. I was actually looking at the chat and UCF Fool told me that Josh's screen was showing, so I hope you can all see my screen. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next page. We have a few minutes left. So Josh did have to step away. He has a meeting that he had to go to. So he hopefully will be back a little bit later on. Most likely not. But if you do need to email him, I'll go ahead and provide his email address in just a little bit. So let's go ahead and look at becausewolo.com, and for some reason it has a slash, actually a question mark KOL. So I do know that there's like a Kickoff Labs link. It's okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on the page itself. So since I was kind of like mousing around, you see that I get the exit intent that popped up, and it says $1,000 bucket list adventure could be yours. All you need to do is provide your email. So that's cool. I mean, people do want to know what's in it for them, and the fact that the exit intent is like is screaming at them, "Hey, $1,000 bucket list is yours. Could be yours." That's a really good strategy. But I guess the same type of advice that I provided somebody a little while ago is to use the space down here where it says we promise we will never spam you, just to educate people a little bit more about Wolo. Like, what is Wolo? Wolo is the bucket list something social. Just tell people, or you only live once. Wolo is here to make your life more social or something. I don't know, like, what does Wolo do? Tell people within the exit intent. Let's look at the actual page. We only live once. Bucket list just got social. This is a really nice looking page. I really like the actual layout that you guys have. The font is big, but it's not like it's playful at the very top. We only live once. It's big. Like, the actual headline is really big. Easy to read. Bucket list just got social. That's that headline could be maybe just a little bit more descriptive, because I could say that anything got social. I mean, I could tell people that that wearable tech, that's a really big industry now. All that's going social. Or I could tell people, well, your wallet just got social. Or I could tell people that your bracelet just got social. Anything. So be more specific. Like, bucket lists that you could share. Share videos with your friends of your bucket list and check them off. Boom. So again, you're already saying it here, like, and start checking off your list. So just kind of like, it's okay if your headline stretches out 2 lines. As I mentioned, most people want to keep it like super aesthetic where it's just a single line. Be more descriptive. Like, tell people, share the moments when you're checking off your bucket list. Just I mean, I can't write your copy off the top of my head right now, but that's kind of the way you should kind of think it. And the incentive should be join Wolo and win $1,000 bucket list adventure. So I would just move this where it says join the Wolo community to closer to the actual call to action. And taking a look at I guess that you have also, just to quickly mention on the background video, because we get a lot of people asking about how background videos, on what our advice is on background videos itself. Generally, we don't recommend using background videos unless they're strongly tied to your brand or to what your business is about. In this case, I feel as if that it's pretty tied to their actual brand, because it looks like it's people that are doing their own adventures. So people might see that and they might get excited, and they will and they will likely sign up. But obviously, if I was like launching out of the gate with this, I would launch with a static background image, because background videos, they do tend to distract. So people, what they might see, like, they'll see those videos and they'll get caught up and they'll say to themselves, like, oh, this looks fun. Maybe I might Google cliff diving or something like that. So just be careful with those type of background videos. The actual incentive, as I mentioned, it's a really good incentive. Just make sure that it's tied closer to the join Wolo. So join Wolo and enter to win $1,000 bucket list adventure. And you're asking for the email address. I'm just wondering why you're asking for the #1 thing on your bucket list. I would most definitely exclude that from the sign-up form. and just follow up with the welcome email. So just in case you're using Kickoff Labs, you could follow up with the auto reply. So that's an automatic email that goes out after people sign up. Use that email to ask those additional questions. And what's awesome about that is that you'll actually be able to engage with people. So if people are excited about your brand, they will be excited about having contact with you guys too, with like the actual Wolo team. So yeah, I mean, exclude this because it's very likely going to drive your conversion rate down. The enter to win looks good. Let's see if we can learn more about Wolo. Actually, it's good that you're actually providing a little bit more information as to what Wolo is. Welcome to Wolo. Connect with like-minded people to accomplish your dreams and celebrate life together. Cool. Okay. Discover new experiences. Add them to your bucket list. You guys have some images, like some images of the actual application. Looks really good. Take a look around. Yeah, looks pretty amazing. Like the rest of the page looks amazing. Looks really good. You guys have some testimonials, and you're telling people, okay, like roughly that there's already some members, and this is what they're saying. So yeah, so it's a good thing to actually join. So that's pretty cool. The site looks really good. Let's go ahead and sign up and see what happens then. First, let's go ahead and test this button. I'm ready. And yes, it drives me up to the sign up page. What happens if I try to submit without? Okay, so I'm forced. And yeah, it looks like you are using Kickoff Labs. What's the number one on this? Convert. That's my number one thing. Alrighty, so I'm sent to our contest themed type of like thank you page, and I can actually see that it's okay. So thank you for joining the Wolo Bucket. Something that Josh mentioned and that we always recommend: use the same type of of background images. I know that this page doesn't accept a background video, which is totally okay. You don't want to distract people, as I mentioned, but use that same type of background images. So maybe people that are on those rocks diving into the water, take a quick screen grab and place that into the background image. It'll feel a lot more consistent. So you're saying, all right, so thanks for joining the Bucket List community. Now share your link to increase your chances of winning. Great. So it's simple, straightforward. Looking at the rest of the page, actually, I like the green. It actually like stands out, calls out what people's progress is and how they can increase their actual progress. So share your link below. Earn a point for each person who signs up to your link. Yeah, okay, so this is straightforward. You are keeping it like the standard. I did show like the PBGo page. This is the exact one. This is actually their page. They customized it with the help of our own team. Sorry about that. I'm a little distracted here. So they did develop this one, and it's good to see a lot of other customers getting some good results from this page. So I'm pretty sure that you should get some pretty good results. If you haven't yet, take a look at their interview at their showcase page, their case study, and they do have like a complete actually, I thought we had a video on them. Sorry about that, but this is a pretty good case study, just in case you haven't looked at it itself. So let's go ahead and quickly share on Facebook so you make sure that it's working. All right, so the Facebook share looks really good too. Like we only live once. It's a group of friends. Looks almost like it could be an amateurish image, like with a little filter and a little text over it. So it looks really, really good. And the join Wolo, I might use the headline, like say what the incentive is to sign up, like enter to win $1,000. People will click much more on that as opposed to like just join Wolo. If it says if the headline was way more specific and was telling people, what was it, win $1,000 bucket list adventure, it's going to convert way better. So consider that. But yeah, it looks like you really thought about this actual Facebook share. It looks really good. Cool. So let's go ahead and move on to the next page. We have a few minutes left, so I want to be sure that we get to everybody's page. Yes, I'll go ahead and post that link. So here is the Saha one, but I do invite everybody to take a look at the normal case studies one. So if you go to Showcase, you can actually take a look at all of the customer campaigns that we have a case study on. You have really, really good examples. One that I highly recommend too, right before we get to Smiggle, sorry about that. I highly recommend taking a look at the Solo eyewear. So this is one of our new ones too, one of our new case studies. It goes really, really in depth, and it shows you. Oh, I hope that didn't click. And it shows you like customer examples, gives you a lot of tips. Show you just a little bit of it. And it shows you roughly how their actual campaign flow, what it looked like, what worked for them. They did launch out of the gate with an A/B test, which is something that I highly, highly recommend. That way you can ensure that you're getting the highest conversion rate possible right out of the gate. So a lot of good strategies, and you'll take a look at their Facebook share, some of the stuff that they did, some of the, this is their image here. So really good information. So take a look at that. Right, so Mike's asking, the Facebook share doesn't need to pull from a title description. Be sure that, so Mike, so just in case it's not pulling from the title or description, be sure that you're adding the Facebook share message to the sign up landing page, because essentially that's always what's going to be shared. Facebook, even though you're on the thank you page, it'll be sharing the sign up landing page URL, because we always want to drive people to the page with the form on it. So be sure that you customize that. And also, if you are having some problems, use the Facebook debug tool. And actually, you can just Google Facebook debug. Facebook, I'm typing on one hand, sorry about that. Facebook debugger. Yeah, actually, that's fine. And you'll see that it says debugger. And all you need to do is run your URL through there, and you can see exactly what's being shared. So I'll share another link in just a minute or so. Actually, after this review, showing you that link on how to optimize your social share, the message itself, because that's really important. I mean, especially since Kickoff Labs is like driving a lot of social referrals, you want to get the most out of your Facebook share message. Make sure that it's optimized, and make sure that plenty of people are clicking on it. So, all right, lastly, we're looking at Smiggle. We might have another page, but let's go ahead and look at this one first. Last chance to sign up. Please sign up. All righty. I don't know what I'm signing up for. Smiggle, this needs to be worked on. What is Smiggle, and why should I sign up now? That's what you need to tell people here in this exit intent. And also, it needs to tell people here as well. And right now, it's telling me we're almost there. And what's going to happen is people are going to close the page. People are going to say, all right, we're not ready yet, so I'm going to close that page. So be aware that if you're telling people we're almost here, people are going to leave. People need to see that there's a reason for them to actually sign up now. So tell them, like, what is Smiggle? Like, I don't know what Smiggle, that was supposed to be a question mark, by the way. I don't know what Smiggle is, and it's telling me to come back later. So this is essentially what it should be. Like, maybe it should be like a small logo here at the top, and then a little headline right below it where it's telling people, okay, Smiggle is the place where you can focus on your core business, but how, and getting paid made easy equals Smiggle. But be more specific. Like, what is it for? Who is it for? Is it for people invoicing people? Like, is it a reminder app? Is it a CRM? What is it? Like, be really, really, really specific. This page needs a little bit more work, but yeah, it needs to be a lot more specific. Get access soon. Let's see what if I get a little bit more idea if I sign up for the app. Get access soon. I don't know what I'm getting access to. And this looks like the standard thank you page where it's like invite friends and earn amazing rewards. Thanks for signing up. You'll get access to our beta version as soon as it's ready. We don't know what it is. Like, is it a beta for an iOS app? Is it a desktop app? Is it a web app? Like, what is it specifically? And if I'm getting it for free, I want to know exactly what it is. People need to know what it is. Alrighty, let's go ahead and take a look at the chat. Make sure there's no other page. Okay, I believe I saw one more. So we're going to look at Alex's page. This is the last page because it is 11:59, and we don't want to go too long. So we're looking at 40-hour switch. www.tforevers.com. So give it a little bit of time to load. This is not good. You can see that it is loading here. My connection currently is not that fast. I think I'm like on a 15 megabit connection, which is pretty slow, but it should load by now. Come on now. This is too much. I would have closed this page long ago. If I really, really wanted to get what's here, I would stay here. But even the page knows, even the page itself knows that it's going to take forever to load. That's why it has that like pretty animation. It's like, oh yeah, you're going to be waiting a long time. That's why we had to entertain you with the red and purple and green. Like that's just making the page take even longer to load. So I always recommend get rid of all those little plugins, all those little animations. They're unnecessary. They're going to drive your conversion rate down. Take a look at like Amazon. They rarely use any kind of Amazon of like animations. Take a look at the big retailers, Bath and Body Works, Nordstrom.com. Take a look at what the big retailers are doing, because it looks like it's, this is roughly like, okay, so it's a backpack to briefcase and one switch. And then it's like 4K video in the background. Sheesh. I mean, yeah, you want it to look really good. And maybe your customers, they all have a 300 megabit connection all the time, but you have to be sure that this page loads quickly and that people know, exactly what it is within at least 3 to 5 seconds of me hitting of me actually visiting the actual URL. And the top is like very vague. So it says like forevers, temporary forevers. I can deduce that maybe that's the actual company name. So hopefully the people that you're driving to this page know what forevers or temporary forevers is. If not, then you need to start by like roughly educating, like, okay, so forevers is this temporary forevers. So, I mean, this is what our brand is, and this is what we offer. Then it says the 48-hour switch. Okay, and there's no reason to like link it up again. If I click this, it would just reload the page. So that's just unnecessary. There's a search box. I don't know what I would be searching for. That just feels a little bit weird. This side text here, it's really, really weird. Like the 48-hour switch side text, I had to tilt my head to read it. I don't like it. It looks like an innovative design. Looks like you guys have put some thought into it, but essentially, like what matters for me is that it sells, and is that people sign up. If you're getting at least like a 20 to 30% conversion rate, awesome. Let me know. But if you aren't getting that kind of conversion rate, 20 to 30%, maybe you haven't launched yet, but once you do get some people visiting this page, if you're not getting that kind of conversion rate, it really needs to improve. And the call to action might need to, like, I would put the call to action a little bit higher up on the page, where right below the actual headline itself, like where it says 48-hour switch. I don't know what the 48-hour switch is. I mean, that's the name of the product, but I don't know what it is and how it's going to impact my life, how it's going to benefit me. I can see the video and I can see like, oh, right, so that's what's happening. But be a lot more specific. I mean, just model your campaigns and specifically your e-commerce store after what the big guys are doing, because they spend thousands of dollars on marketing and on conversion rate optimization. So we don't necessarily have to. I mean, we just have to take their case studies and learn from them. So be among the first to find out the launch date. The first 100 Kickstarter backers will get up to 45% off the RRP. Okay, so you're letting people know that there is some kind of incentive to actually sign up, but there's no, like, right here, there's nothing for me to click on. Like if I clicked on this, it would take me to the page, like it would just reload the page again. This just opens a search, which is kind of unnecessary. This is a shopping cart, which I believe doesn't work yet. Let's see what happens if I return to the shop. Yeah, it takes me to a totally different page. So I was actually like looking at the 48-hour switch, and now it's taking me to some shop page where I'm looking at completely different products. You completely lost me. So focus on the singular thing. Like, okay, I'm getting people to actually sign up, and tell them like, all right, so maybe like if you have so many of these animations, the one that I might consider adding is removing removing a lot of the additional ones, but maybe one of those little bouncing arrows that like tell people scroll down because there's more on the page. And let's see what happens if we do sign up. So messenger backpack briefcase. Yeah, I mean this information should be higher up on the page, like letting people know what it is. Alrighty, let's go ahead and sign up. I might consider removing the first name the first name form field as well, because it's anytime you have additional form fields, you're going to convert less. And if you're using Kickoff Labs, for example, in a lot of cases, you can grab their first name using Kickoff Labs Magic Contact Data. So, okay, looks like you're not. So it's just a thank you. We will let you know soon. There's no real incentive for me to share this with friends. I feel that the campaign is like kind of lacking. Like, yeah, I could get, like, I'll be one of the first people to actually get Kickstarter. I'll be one of those first backers and I'll get 45% off, but there's no way for me to share it. There's no way for me to earn additional rewards. You're really missing out on that viral social referral aspect. So something for you to actually consider. But I guess my main feedback for you is to make sure that this page loads quickly and that people are quickly informed as to what the 48-hour switch is and how they could purchase it or how they could sign up for it, because the call to actions are somewhat buried. Okay, so that's been a lot of me talking. I was kind of tired at the very end, so I do apologize. Hopefully that was some decent feedback for you guys. Just a little bit of, I'm actually reading the chat. Like I'll end this just by providing a couple more links. Loading faster for me, but yeah, it's a video. No. Yeah, actually, Mario, which is UCF full in the chat, he's saying no, just no video. Yeah, I agree. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple other showcase pages that I quickly wanted to show you guys right before we sign off with this. So some of the most recommended ones on my part is to most definitely take a look at the first one, which is one that says Glowforge. So that specifically was for the previous review, which is if you're doing any type of crowdfunding and you want to ensure that you get enough buyers, be sure that you're building an audience previous to your actual crowdfunding launch. So it looks like you're on the right track, but just needs to be improved just a little bit, and take advantage of those social referrals and of people inviting more people. So these guys, they did use Kickoff Labs to build their actual campaign itself. But if you scroll down to the case study, it says like be sure to read the full blog post with examples. I really recommend taking a look at that. So you'll find that blog post itself. Let me share those case studies once again. So I showed that case study once again, and once you're there, go to the Glowforge one. They're all really good, but for crowdfunding specifically, go to the Glowforge one, and then at the very bottom, it'll have an additional link where it's going to show you a lot of the examples as to how they did it and what the page looks like, some of their own recommendations for prize levels and for giving away prizes and all this good stuff. And for emails, what kind of automatic emails work well with examples and copy and all this really good stuff. So I highly invite you to like take a look at this case studies and make them your own, basically. And I know there was a question in there really quick. So it says, my question is whether I can connect my existing WordPress to the Kickoff Labs content space. Yes, you can most definitely connect any type of existing website or landing page to Kickoff Labs. You can either use our, actually, if you have an existing one, use what's called our AnyForm. So if you go into your account, you'll actually see that there's something called an AnyForm. Let me see, actually jump into the actual account itself. Sorry about that. So if I jump into my campaign and I clicked the add a new landing page or widget button, or I could do it from the very top where it says add a new page or widget. there's something that's called the Anyform, and this is basically how you can connect any third-party landing page or website to Kickoff Labs. All you need to do is just drop in a simple script, and that's pretty much it. Visit our support site, and I think you'll find a document that shows you how to install it onto WordPress. If not, just go ahead and email support@kickofflabs.com. We can most definitely help. But yeah, so that's been my feedback. Take a look at all the case studies. If you guys have any additional questions, please email us at any time. So that's support@kickofflabs.com, or you can always email me. My name is Izzy. That's Izzy@kickofflabs.com. IZZY. Izzy@kickofflabs.com. Or you can email our founder. That's Josh@kickofflabs.com. JOSH. Josh@kickofflabs.com. And next week we're actually going to be doing a Getting Started series, just talking about some conversion rate tips on how to use our new drag and drop designer and how to get the most out of your campaign. Specifically, I guess, like making sure that it's ready to launch. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you all next time. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye bye.